Nagsimula ang usapang ito ng mag-email si Janelle tungkol sa kanyang napansin na connection ng depression niya at mga nakikita niyang entities. Matagal ko nang iniisip rin yan. Ano nga kaya ang connection ng ating mga emosyon sa mga entity na lumalapit or nakikita natin? Samahan niyo kami ngayong gabi sa mga kwentong doppelganger, Japanese soldier, haunted house ni Lola, at syempre ang posibleng koneksyon ng mental health sa paranormal. Enjoy. Okay, so ang guest natin tonight ay isang listener and ayun nga, nag-reach out siya recently and na-mention niya na parang yung ibang theory, ibang theory ko and ibang theory na ibang psychics rin na connected kaya ang ating emotions and I guess minsan intentions, connected kaya sa mga experience sa mga mundong di nakikita. Yun. So, good evening, Janelle. Thank you for reaching out. Thank you rin for deciding to share your story with us.
Yeah, thank you po, Sir Nick. I'm excited and nervous to be here. I'm happy to share my story.
Wag ka ma-nervous. Okay lang yan. Yun, feel free. Wag ka isipin mo na lang meron kang, wag naman therapist, pero meron kang kausap lang na tao na, yun, gusto mo lang kwentuhan nung, kasi based dun sa email mo naman is, yun nga, ako personally, I want to know, ang entities ba, para chicken and egg, sino bang nauna? Tayo ba ang nag-attract ng entities na kung meron tayong ganyang feelings, yung ba tayo nag-attract? Or yung paglapit ba ng entities ang nagpupush sa atin na magkaroon ng ganitong emotions? So, Janelle, ano yung gusto mong i-share na, yun nga, meron ka rin naisip na connections sa ano mo, sa emotion or sa mga feelings mo and connection nito sa pagkakita or pagka-sense sa world na hindi natin nakikita?
Before, when I was talking with my therapist noong, I think, 2019, na pag-usapan namin, parang I was experiencing at the time kasi parang hallucinations. Kasi I was smelling things from out of nowhere, mostly food.
Okay.
Tinanong niya sa akin parang ano ba yung mga iba ko pa bang nakikita or na-experience na hallucinations before when I was a kid or ano experiences ko. And then we saw a pattern then na parang, ayun, na nakwento ko sa kanya yung there was a time that may nakita po akong old lady dun sa childhood home namin. And when I was 8 years old, I saw that old lady kasi at the time I was being abused by an older relative. So, nakwento ko yung mga ganong instances sa therapist ko and we kind of saw a pattern na baka nagkakos ng stress yung pagkakita ko ng multo. But we didn't come to a conclusion talaga kung ano ba, ghost ba yun or was it hallucinations lang. But we saw that pattern na whenever I'm really stressed, that's when I see things or see people na.
Okay. So, what year was this nung napag-usapan nyo to?
May napag-usapan po namin in 2019.
19, okay. So, after that tinry mo observe kung ganun nga yung connection?
I think by the time ng mga 2021, mga ganon, mas established na okay, I can really see ghosts. But when
Okay.
I look dun sa mga past experiences ko, like when I was in college in like 2016, 2017, dun ko lang na-realize yung pattern talaga na mas heightened talaga na mas nakakita ko whenever I'm stressed out. And I was very stressed out in college.
Ano ba yung course mo?
I started in 2013 as computer science po. Kinuha ko. Then I shifted from computer science to communication research. Then, na-kick out po ako ng engineering. Kaya, ayun, it was a very stressful time.
Naka-stress naman talaga yung yung topic. So, gusto mo i-break down yung, so, again, walang context yung mga nakikinig kasi dun sa ating email. So, baka gusto mo i-breakdown yung mga nakwento mo sa email. Or kung saan siya nag-start. Tama ba? Nakwento mo ba kung saan siya nag-start?
Opo, ayun. Kasi I was diagnosed kasi with ADHD when I was young. Maybe I think I was 4 years old. Pero at that time kasi I was never given treatment for it because my parents didn't believe that I had it. Pero growing up, I had symptoms of ADHD na hindi ko na na-address. So that's part na rin ng stress sa buhay ko. And then bukod pa dun, I experienced different traumatic events. As I mentioned earlier, yung biggest was the abuse na nangyari when I was 8. And then, dun po ako nagkaroon ng PTSD and OCD. And then, dun sa abuse na experience na yun, nakita ko po yung apparition ng old lady. And na-confirm naman ng nanay ko na yung apparition was former resident po ng house. So I think that's kind of a legit experience and not just hallucination. Noong 2013 kasi I started college. And then noong 2013 po ako nag-start na mag-open up about myself sa mga tao na kasi before whenever I had any trouble or any emotional na problem, I would keep it to myself. Tapos doon ko mas na-open sa sarili ko na mas na-realize yung ano nangyari sa akin when I was younger, yung abuse. Kasi when it was happening, because it wasn't physical abuse kasi. So, ang perception ko before was if something is physical abuse, yun lang yung abuse. So, any other kinds of abuse na hindi physical, parang I thought na hindi siya abuse. Pero when over time, realize ko, there are different kinds of abuse pala and what I experienced was abuse. Parang, I guess dun yung parang nagkaroon ako ng breaking point na I hit rock bottom and maraming hindi naging magandang experience doon. Pero I didn't try to seek help agad. I just tried to recover and heal on my own. Pero when I should have really went to a therapist, but I didn't. So I guess added stress din. Yung bukod sa college, I was so stressed out with academics and at the same time, I was dealing with my mental health alone.
Na-mention mo na yung first mo was 4 years old.
Mm-mm.
Sabi mo nga na mistreated ka nung household help. Tama ba?
Yes po.
Tapos I guess yung connection dun sa sinabi mo sa family member nung sa 8 years old na. Tama ba?
Yes.
Okay.
Nung college naman po kasi ako, ayun, I was so stressed out. I guess I'll put it in a context na kasi nung college, I am from Makati, pero in college, nag-travel kami, naglipat po kami ng parents ko to Quezon City to be closer to my college in Katipunan. Ayun. And I guess dito mas na-open din yung abilities ko maybe. Kasi we stayed in a house na I think we would say na haunted siya and maybe there was even a demon there. Kasi yung iba kong na-experience doon, well, ang stressful thing na nangyayari sa akin, I was adjusting in college, ganyan, and I was starting out ng computer science. Ang mga nangyari sa akin doon ay I saw the doppelganger of my aunt. Ang nangyari doon, I was taking a nap in between classes sa bahay namin. And then, parang naalimpungatan ako. And then, parang nung naalimpungatan ako, I was hearing parang boses ng nanay ko and boses ng tito ko na nag-uusap. And then, tapos I was thinking, ay, kailangan kong bumangon kasi kailangan kong batiin yung tita ko. Pero nung babangon na sana ko, sumilip yung tita ko. Parang tiningnan niya ako. Tapos bumalik ulit out of the bedroom. Tapos nung tinanong ko yung nanay ko after that, parang, andito ba si tita? Hindi ko siya nabate, ganyan. Sabi ng nanay, wala siya sa bahay. Kaming dalawa lang yung nasa bahay the whole time. Wala yung tita ko.
Sorry, sisingit ko mabilis. Nung time ba na yun? Kasi tinatry ko relate dun sa hypothesis mo rin na connected siya. Nung time ba na yun particularly, meron kang pinagdadaanan? Naalala mo pa ngayon kasi medyo, syempre college to, tagal na rin yun. Pero meron ka bang pinagdadaanan nun or may something bringing you down nung time na yun?
Yes po, it was the first few weeks of college and I was
Mm,
really a lot to being in college. Ayun po.
okay. Oo, oo. Okay, so continue sa next. May next ka sabi mo.
I guess the place was also really haunted din kasi po not just me pero yung parents ko rin, they had their own experiences there, and then yung mga na maybe not really connected uh with my parang going what I was going through at the time, but I guess it kind of confirms na maybe what I saw was legit, and it's something na my being stressed opened my eyes to what cannot be seen. Hindi okay yung place kasi like yung parents ko po, si mama po, nararanasan niya po in that house na may mga crucifix po na parang tinutumba. Kita niya paminsan yun. Tapos paminsan, kapag mag-isa lang siya sa place, bigla niyang maririnig yung footsteps ng tatay ko. And when she tries to see sa labas, wala naman pala tatay ko. Ganun. And laging may nagno-knock dun sa window above my mom's bed. And ayoko tingnan din yung window na yun. At the time, I think when na-experience ko niyan, I was well into college. Siguro I was 3 years into it or 4 years into it. I think it was in between the time na nakick out ako sa engineering and in between na I was starting with a new course. So it was a very stressful time din talaga. Yung full body, I mean yung doppelganger na sarili ko, I think it happened during the time na I was struggling with computer science na talaga. So yung nangyari was, we usually kasi stay in our ancestral house in Makati. Doon sa bahay ng lola ko, which is very haunted, may iba pa, but baka ma-share ko later. So kasi yung sa bahay ng lola ko, ang ginawa ko doon ay, it was in the wee hours of the night. And kapag sobrang dilim na and gabi na, we don't go out na anymore of our bedrooms kasi kami rin takot dun sa place. So, ang ginagawa namin, meron kaming arenola doon sa kwarto namin. So, yung time na nangyari yun, I just had to use yung arenola. So, tumayo ako from my bed. Tapos, umupo ako dun sa arenola. From where I was sitting, tumingin ako dun sa bed ko and I saw myself na I was wearing what I was wearing at that moment. I was wearing a white shirt, tapos my head, pero yung itsura ko was my head was down. Tapos nako-cover ng buhok ko yung face ko.
Mhm.
Parang, but it didn't happen long. Parang I guess it happened like half a second or a second lang. More of my reaction was kinilabutan ako, but at the same time I was like, did I just really see that? Parang, did I just really see myself doon? Not much happened after that. I just tried to sleep. Pero, ba talaga yung experience po na yun?
So, sa description mo, magbibigay lang ako pa ang theory ko minsan sa ganong stories. So, ang hirap kasi minsan i-identify, di ba? I-discern eh. Ang hirap i-discern kung yung na-experience mo ba ay a doppelganger? Is it seeing your past? Is it seeing a parallel dimension? Minsan ganun eh. So parang ang hirap siya i-discern. Pero based kasi dun sa sabi mo na it was fast, nakita mo lang, nakababa yung, nakatungo yung head. So hindi ko alam if, again, baka may sarili ka interpretation doon. I don't know how you would interpret it. Pero for me, parang interpretation ko, parang nakita mo lang yung nangyari kanina or something. Parang ganun eh. Nasilip mo or hindi ko alam if nagkakaroon ka pang ganung moments or was it just that time? Wala ka na moments na you'd see yourself again in a
It was
similar...
just, yeah, sorry. Yeah, I just saw myself once and that was just one instance.
Okay. Magandang observation yan. Pero sige. Okay, sige. After that, ano pa yung ibang na-experience mo sa...
Ito naman, I think talagang related to my stress kasi yung sinasabi ko about the Japanese soldier dun sa email, ang nangyayari dun ay, it was final season. So I was really cramming everything. Really, like I was really staying up late just to study talaga. So, I was studying dun sa dining room ng bahay ng lola ko. And umabot na ako dun hanggang 2:30, 3 o'clock. So, nung mga bandang 2:30, napansin ko, kasi in the dining room, yung katapat nun is the kitchen. Parang habang nakayupo ako and I was taking down notes studying, biglang may dumaan and parang na white figure. And parang I instantly knew na yung dumaan na yun was a Japanese soldier in Japanese military clothes from the Second World War. And then dumaan siya papunta dun sa CR sa may kitchen. That was around 2:30 a.m. Tapos, I guess I saw that then kasi yung bahay ng lola ko was, base sa kwento sa akin, it was built in the 30s, 1930s, and it was as a garrison of the Japanese before, during the World War. So I guess that confirms it. Bukod pa dun, may mga iba pa ako nakita, bukod sa soldier, noong mga 3 a.m. din, na while I was still studying, nakita rin ako ng dalawang figure on my right. On my left pala, a white figure and a blue figure. So, weirdly. Tas nakita ko yun talaga for like a second or more bago siya biglang wala in front of me.
Ano yung form? Ano yung itsura? Ano yung observing you or just passing by? Parang nasa area lang? Ganun yung dating?
It was just standing there. Parang, I guess, nagbabantay sa akin. I don't know if they were my guides or something. Pero medyo malayo siya from me. And then later on, mabanda 3, nakita ko, parang ang dami ng dumadaan sa likod ko. And when I looked to my back, merong din maliit na entity na black na biglang dumaan. So yun, all of that happened 3:30, mag 4 o'clock na, and I was still very stressed out because of my finals. I guess yung stress ko and combined with the time, kaya ko sila nakita.
Hindi ako sure sa time. Kaya ako may iba kasi nagsasabi, again, it depends on how you believe it, di ba? Pero may iba kasi, they would say na they're always there. Hindi sila time bound. Gabi magkapakita kami. Although may iba naman, ganun rin ang experience. Mas naka-experience sila ng, let's say, scarier. They would define it as scarier pag dumating gabi. Pero in general, yung sa mga nakaka-experience, they would tell me, based on the people I've talked to, parang hindi siya set sa oras. Pero bakas, hindi ko alam eh. Parang kasi minsan, kahit anong oras yan, makakakita sila eh. Ganun eh. So hindi ko alam if based sa belief system mo, based sa belief system mo, mas makakita akong ganitong oras. Or subconsciously, alam mo, pag gabi mas makakita ka. Mas gabi ka makakita. Parang ganun. Nakaka-affect kasi yung belief natin. Belief in reality, it affects our reality. Yun yung understanding ko doon. Pero, ayun. Sige. Sorry, Janelle. Sisingit lang ko. Sa stories mo, parang nakaka-glimpse ka. Kasi kagaya nung pag-describe mo sa nangyari with the Japanese soldier, ang interpretation ko doon is parang, kasi I'm not sure, again, how many episodes you've listened to and what episodes you've listened to. Pero there have been episodes where it is described na time is a construct. And everything is happening all at the same time, technically. So, some people have that ability na, yun nga, without knowing it, na nasi-skip nila yun. Parang naka-access sila kahit anong oras. Meaning, nakikita na yung past, nakikita na yung future, hindi nila alam na yun pala nangyayari. Parang ganon. So, hindi ko alam based sa story mong yun, sa Japanese soldier, dun sa mga nakita mo yung sarili mo, and dun sa entities, yun ang breed. Yun ang theory ko. Puro theory lang ako, Janelle. Pasensya na.
That's alright.
So yun, baka try mo observe yun. I'm not saying that's the answer. I'm just saying it's a possibility. So basically, sorry. Naano lang ako doon, na-excite lang ako. sa idea na yun na you could be seeing things from different timelines, different dimensions, different parallel worlds. Di ko alam. It is just a theory. Pero sige, go ahead.
Oo nga po eh. I'm not sure if siguro may portal dun sa bahay ng lola ko, but it is filled with a lot of things. In fact, nung mga 90s nga po eh, parang I'm not sure if spirit questers yung pumunta sa bahay ng lola ko. Pero may time na may nagpakilala na group of people sa parents, ay hindi sa parents ko, sa nanay ko. Nanay ko nakatira po dun before. They're a group of professionals who do paranormal investigation on the side. Tapos, lagi nilang nadadaanan daw yung bahay ng lola ko and hindi na nila daw matiis na hindi puntahan kasi parang to them, parang nilulukuban daw ng dilim yung bahay ng lola ko. So, um, doon sa bahay ng lola ko, nung nakita ng mga investigator was, ayun, marami daw entities na iba-iba sa loob ng bahay. And then, yung dun pa nga lang daw sa living room, meron sila agad nakita na maliit na maitim na entity, ganon. And I think that connects with me kasi there was also a time in college na I was also stressed out at the time. Pero it happened naman broad daylight. Nakita ko at the same place na dinedescribe nung, I guess, questor na nakita ko ng full body apparition ng old lady sitting on a rocking chair. Baka entity nakita ko pero iba lang register sa akin. Or maybe I'm looking at the past, but I really saw something there.
Merong interaction ba nangyari or just parang glimpse lang siya?
Glimpse lang din po.
Oh, tapos parang a few seconds lang tapos nawala na rin. Ganun ba?
Yes.
So nakikita mo na ba yung nakikita kong pattern? Janelle. Masyado kong pinupush yung theory ko. Pero sige, go lang. I mean, the more you tell your stories, nako-confirmation bias ako no? Pero the more you tell your stories, parang again, mas nagko-connect lang with things, the pattern or the system of how you might be seeing things. Pero go ahead, kung ano pa yung, kasi yan, mga nakakwento mo, wala yan sa email mo eh. Go lang, kwento mo lang kung ano pa.
Dun din sa same place where I saw myself, or I guess my past self. Yun dun sa kwarto po kasi yun ng lola ko, and whenever we stay in her house, we sleep in her bedroom.
Okay.
So, dun sa bedroom ng lola ko, whenever I stay there, natatakot talaga ako because of my experiences na 2:30, 3:30 may nakikita ko. And takot ako magka-nightmare, ganyan. So, I just let those time pass. So, nung nangyari yun, gabi na siya, as in mga bandang, I guess, 3:30 na rin. And then, nung tumingin ako dun sa side ng bed ng lola ko, may child na entity dun, na maitim. Parang, padumi ng itsura niya. And then yun pa rin, I saw it for like a split second or like a second. Tapos nawala din.
Yung nakita mo siya, nandun siya nakahiga siya sa bed or?
Yes, nakahiga siya sa bed. Doon siya nakapwesto siya dun sa pwesto ng lola ko on her bed. Because lola ko kasi paminsan she has this habit na hindi siya nagsistay. Parang nagigising din siya in the night. Tapos paminsan uupo siya, then matutulog siya nakaupo. Then she'll go back to bed, ganun. So, at the time, she was sleeping na nakaupo. And then, bakante yung bed niya. And I saw that entity on her bed.
Meron pa ba doon? Meron ka pa na-experience doon sa house? Or?
Kaya ako nagkaroon ng takot na matulog ng maaga in that house. Kasi there was a time na during my internship in 2017, kasi yung internship malapit lang sa bahay ng lola ko, so I really had to stay in my grandma's house. So for the 2 months I was there, staying in my grandma's house and doing my internship, parang halos 2 months straight ako na every other night nagkakaroon ako ng nightmare. So I would dream about parang may mga taong duguan, paminsan. There was even a time na I dreamt na nasa bahay ako, mayroon ako mga false awakening. Tapos, I would dream na nasa kitchen ako. Tapos, ang daming aso. Tapos, kinakagat ako ng mga aso, mga ganun nightmares. Mm-hmm. And then, pansin yung mga nightmares pa involve demons who try to scare me. Ganyan. So, because of those experiences.
In that same house?
Yes, in that same house. So, paminsan nga din nagigising ako bigla na lang. For no reason at all. 2:30, 3 a.m. nagigising ako. Tapos, ayun. So, because of these experiences, parang natakot na ako na abutan ng tulog ako yung 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock because I felt that baka magka-nightmare ako. Ayan. And siguro that coincides then at the time, yun nga, internship, it was a stressful time. So I not sure if dala ng stress ko sa internship yung dreams ko, yung nightmares ko, or because meron talagang nagdi-disturb sa akin. Because dun sa sinestayan ko, dun sa bahay ng lola ko at that time I was doing my internship, merong napakalaking mirror dun sa ulo ko.
Mm.
So, tapos yung mirror na yun, nilagyan ko pa ng mga calendar, ganyan. So, I don't know if may nagalit sa akin or meron ng portal dun na entity na nagde-disturb sa akin because it was a mirror. I'm not sure.
Anong ginawa nung mga investigator? Di ba pumunta sila, nag-scan sila. May ginawa ba sila after?
Meron po. Yung isa sa mga ginawa nila was that, kasi yung bahay ng lolo ko, it was typical na colonial na house. So, meron siyang silong. And dun sa silong, meron daw entity doon na galit daw sa nanay ko. So, what they did was, binigyan nila ng something na item for protection yung nanay ko. Pero yun lang naman yung ginawa nila. They didn't drive anything away. They just, lang po, binigyan ng something for protection yung nanay ko. And then, sinabi rin nila, ano yung mga nakita nila. And that's all that they did naman.
Seryoso? Tapos, ano yung naging reaction nyo doon sa ginawa nila?
Ayun, because of wala silang in-offer na anything else, parang they brushed it aside, yung mama ko and my aunts there. Pating protection na binigay sa nanay ko, parang hindi na niya masyadong pinansin. Kasi parang walang solution na offer, more like, and here's what we saw, goodbye.
Di ba? I mean, kasi parang, if you think about it, sabi nila, based sa story mo, na, pag tuwing dumadaan kami dito, meron kami yun nga, nasabi mo, nasusukloban ng nakadiliman, di ba? Parang ganun yung sinasabi. So, I would assume na after that, parang magre-recommend sila, ito po nga pwede niyong gawin. Pero syempre, hindi naman nila kailangan gawin. Up to you din, kasi bahay niyo yun eh. Maintindihan ko yun. Pero the fact na, ito yung mga laman ng bahay niyo, okay. Ito, protection para sa babaeng to, yun na, goodbye. Ganun lang nangyari talaga. Buhay ka na ba nito? Buhay ka na ba nito, Janelle, nung nangyari ito?
Hindi pa po ako buhay nun.
Okay. Sorry, pinanganak ka na. Mali yung term ko, buhay. Pinanganak ka na ba? Oo.
Base lang po sa kwento sa akin.
Yes.
Actually, meron pa akong, I guess, napulot from Miss Stargazer kasi nakausap ko si Miss Star before. Kasi I was a regular viewer of her show in Kumu. So, in show in Kumu kasi, when there is some time, paminsan she gives free readings.
Yes, oo.
In terms, there was a time ay nagtanong po ako sa kanya, the house. Parang tinanong ko, bakit po parang marami akong nakikita doon or bakit marami kaming na-experience doon? She said, because a long, long time ago, merong puno ng kainito na pinutol. And yung mga entities na nakatira doon, nawalan sila ng bahay. So, because of that, parang, ayun, nanggugulo sila or they're scattered around the house because they have nowhere to go. Meron pa akong solution na nakuha doon. And she recommended na mag-plant kami ulit ng fruit-bearing tree.
Yes, oo.
Nawala yung puno. So, the entities could have a home again.
Yes, oo nga. Ginawa nyo naman.
We did. It took some time, but we did po. Pero kahit na parang medyo naging peaceful after a time. Pero hindi pa rin po. Until now, we still experience some things there. Even if meron ng puno dun.
Tinry mo na mag-communicate? Na parang, parang naguguluhan kami sa inyo, baka pwedeng huwag kayong ganyan, respect nyo space namin, mga ganun. Tinry nyo ba yan?
I never really did that outright. Pero paminsan, I would tell them to go away in my mind lang. Na
Yes, oo.
not disturb us or disturb me. Pero I guess it's not as effective as I wish it would be kasi paminsan, like there was a time na pinag-uusapan namin ng house when we were outside. Nasa restaurant kami and napapansin ko parang nag-flicker yung lights on above us dun sa restaurant. So parang in that moment I knew na parang okay, this might be something that's coming from the house kasi we were talking about it. So I told it na parang to go away. And then after that, nagkasakit parents ko. So medyo takot din ako to assert my place because I'm not sure if I'm doing it the right way. Pero ayun, maybe I should do it more.
Isip ko lang. Kasi, paano ba? I hope you don't take it the wrong way. Tatanong ko, how is the household? Meaning, internally as a family, may problems ba? Nag-aaway ba? Hindi nagkakasundo or nagkaka-backbitan ba? May ganun ba nangyari in the household?
Yes po, meron.
Oo, okay.
Like right now, may legal battle and connected din po kasi yung trauma ko with that side of the family.
So, again, I'm not sure what episodes you've listened to, pero lumalabas kasi ganun eh. The energy or the situation in a certain environment, it could be a house, it could be a building, it could be a warehouse or whatever. Kung ano yung dynamic sa loob, kung ano yung energy sa loob, like attracts like. Parang, ito nga, lalabas to sa isang LL portion, na the other night, I met with one of our past guests, si Enzo, and sabi niya sa mga kasama naming ibang past guest, nakikita niya yung aura nila. So, sabi niya, so aura is representative of how you are feeling at the moment. Emotions mo, internal struggles mo kung meron man, nakikita yan sa aura, sabi niya. So, for me, biglang na-realize ko, explanation is, kung yun nakikita niya, in that siguro dimension, yun yung nilalabas na energy ng tao, spirits, kita rin nila yun. And some spirits, they feed on that. Parang yun yung sustenance nila. And yun nga, merong akong binabasang book, Sister of Darkness ang name niya, exorcist siya na girl. Sabi niya, maraming ganong entity na, ito hindi kita tinatakot, Janelle. It's more of, in-explain ko lang para at least ma-understand mo kung bakit kaya marami nang gugulo doon. It's because yun nga, feeling ko, kaya ako natanong yun, and I guess may pagkatama yung assumption ko, kung ano yung energy na nila nang umiikot dun sa place na yun, yun yung na-attract na entity or energy. Let's say, huwag mo sabihin entity, yung energy. And yung energy na yun, nag-feed on sa energy na binabato nyo. So, yun yung nakikita kong possible reason kung but up till now, sabi mo nga, may gulo pa rin. Kahit na pinapaalis mo sila, kahit na nagpatayo kayo ng thing na yun. So, ang hirap niyang resolve. Pag-isipin mo, di ba? Kasi it has to do with the people in the house to get along or to be kind to each other.
Opo.
Di ba?
I'm thinking about applying that to myself na baka because I've been severely stressed and depressed and well, meron talaga akong condition for a very long time. And just kaya sila na-attract sa akin or nagpapakita sa akin. Because even outside of my grandma's house and pati hanggang ngayon na sa places na pinupuntahan ko, kahit sa office man yan, I see something talaga pa rin. So, bukod sa I see them when I'm stressed out, well, I see them talaga in general because they may be attracted to whatever it is that I have. Light man yan or darkness because of my experiences.
Feeling ko you see them regardless of. Sorry. Feeling ko yun. Parang talagang, I guess, nakaka-sense ka. It's more of, yun nga, again, possibly because of your depression or possibly because of your emotion, internal emotions, na pag pinakinggan mo yung mga ibang nasa spiritual side kasi, sinasabi nila yan na, ito, nagsabi mo nga, nag-seminar ka with Miss May, di ba? And sinabi mo rin na you listen to Miss Star, di ba? Nasasabi niya yan na nasa-sense mo, nakikita mo, yung nasa same vibration mo. Tama, di ba?
Yes po.
So, ako wala ko na, wala ko na sa sense. Di ako sensitive eh. Pero, I'm assuming for people na depende kung nasaan ka sa spectrum, kung nasa higher dimension, nasa lower vibration ka, nasa higher vibration ka, yun yung masisense mo. So, I think regardless of your, hindi siya reliant on how you feel, pero I guess yung overall disposition mo, mas yun nakikita mo kung ano man yung nakikita mo.
Medyo mababa yung tolerance ko for stress, admittedly. Kaya dalas ako nag-distress din talaga. And yun, marami din naman po akong ginagawa to do it. And one of the few things that I do is I journal, I listen to music a lot.
Ano yung mga recent na experience mo?
In general, not just limited to my grandma's house. In the past year, in the office, parang palagi akong nakakaramdam na parang may dumalapit sa lugar ko. O kaya may dumadaan palagi sa lugar ko, dun sa where I'm seated. And then there was even a time na parang na-feel ko, parang may lumapit talaga na I feel like it's an old person or entity or spirit of a person na parang humingi siya ng tulong. But since I was doing a major project and I was trying to beat the deadline, parang dun ako nag-assert ng sarili ko na, please, I'm sorry, hindi kita kayang tulungan this time. And then, ayun, may mga medyo marami experience yung ganun sa akin na parang biglang may lalapit sa place ko, aalis, lalapit, aalis. Pero bigla, nawala na lang siya when I started wearing St. Benedict scapular. And yan, wala nang lumalapit sa akin sa lugar. And then, na-mention ko rin sa email yung, this just happened once. Nakita ko yung aura, I guess, ng boss ko. Kasi, nangyari kasi yun sa CR na yung lumabas ako ng CR, bigla ako may nakitang parang dark na shadow na nakatapat sa isang cubicle. And then, hindi ko alam na yung boss ko pala yun doon. Pero later on, lumabas yung boss ko doon sa cubicle where I saw that dark shadow. And then, the following day, nag-sick leave yung boss ko na yun pala, masama pakiramdam niya. And at that time na nakita ko siya sa office, masama na pala yung pakiramdam niya at that time. I guess tinanong ko si Miss Tarden about this and she confirmed na hindi siya premonition or anything. It was the aura yung nakita ko. And recently din sa office, wala rin naman ako masyadong makita since I'm really focused on work. But I would still see shadows and moving around when wala namang object doon or anything. Pero may shadows here and there na gumagalaw on their own. I stayed in a hotel with my parents nitong August. And ito, nangyari siya not just to me but also my mom. Now, my mom po kasi, she has abilities of her own, pero she can't see anything. So, for the first time, she saw, pareho po kami na nakita. So, dun po sa hotel, galing po kaming swimming, tapos we were walking back to our hotel room. When we were there in the hallway, bigla po kaming may nakitang shadow of a person. Biglang pumasok siya sa door. Tumago siya sa door.
Yes.
Na pang hotel room. Tapos pareho kami natigilan ni mama na parang, did we really just see that? Ayun. So that's one. Mostly kasi yung mga nakikita ko, mostly are really just shadows.
Yes, so.
Bihira yung full body apparition. And then, nangyari na po yun in the past. Kaya yung mga nakwento ko po about yung mga old ladies na nakita ko. At the time, I wasn't taking anything.
Yes.
Yun, I was just depressed. Pero ngayon po kasi I take strong medications. So I'm not sure if nasasubdue ng medications ko yung abilities ko. Kaya shadows na.
Baka gusto mo rin actually start with, kwento yun. Sabi mo nga, again, referencing your email, sabi mo na you've been going through a major depressive episode and yun nga, so may changes, pinrescribe ka na ng antipsychotics, tama, di ba? So,
yes po.
do you want to talk about that?
Yeah. Kasi Nung time na nakita ko yung shadow sa hotel, antidepressants lang po yung tinitake ko eh, and nothing else. And ngayon,
SSRIs, ganun ba? Hindi.
SSRIs po.
Okay.
And ngayon, since taking antipsychotic, halos wala na po akong nakikita. Just shadow. That's all that I see. And even then, yung shadows na yun, hindi na siya shadow ng person. Just really shadows on the ground na nag-move on their own. Yun lang po yung nakikita ko. So I guess affected din siya because, because ayun, because in the past episodes you talked about yung how psychic abilities can sometimes
Ito hindi ko alam.
yes.
Hindi ko alam if synchronicity or what.
Mhm.
So recently, one of the past guests, nag-message siya sa akin na meron siyang na-experience na time loss. Parang nasa office siya, tapos kumiyokot, nakita niya nasa kotse na siya, nag-drive na siya, malapit na siya sa bahay. Hindi niya maalala yung in-between. Meron ring, may time loss talaga, may time loss. Tapos minsan, nakikita niya yung surroundings niya, parang nag-slow mo. So, nung nakwento namin yan, nakwento niya yan sa isang group chat namin, meron kami kasamang doktor doon. Sabi niya, ano rin yan, withdrawal sa SSRIs na attribute dyan. Okay. So at least meron ka idea. Kung mangyari sa'yo, possible. Hindi ko sinasabing, yun na yun, take it into consideration na baka yun. Pwedeng ganon. Okay. So, sinend ko actually kay part of your message kasi sabi mo nga, babasahin ko na lang yung part of your message if you don't mind. Na sabi mo, can I ask your thoughts and advice regarding your situation na you're taking antipsychotics nga? Sabi mo, I remember JP is also taking medications. I'm also hoping to talk to him about our experiences with it. So, I invited him pero hindi siya pwede. Then maybe if there are listeners that are in a similar situation as I am, who are having a difficult time managing their mental health while trying to develop their abilities. Okay. So, stop ko muna doon yung sinabi mo. I gave him part of the message. Siyempre, not everything. And may sinagot siya sa akin with regards to yun, sa antipsychotic. Sa kanya, bipolar kasi ang, I'm not sure if bipolar 1 or 2 or A or B ba yun. Sorry hindi ko alam yung tamang term. Pero isa siya doon. Hindi, naka-classify siya into bipolar pero hindi rin yung mas grabe yata. Hindi ko alam yung tamang term. Wala kasi siya dito. Pero yung tinitake niya is, hindi ko alam yung pangalan ng medicine. Pero ang pagkaintindi ko is, kasi pag bipolar ka, may manic moments ka, may super down moments ka. So it's, yung tinitake mong meds is to balance that. Para hindi ka mag-super manic, hindi ka rin mag-super down. Parang ganun yung tinitake niya. So I don't think if it is the same. So wala siya dito, hindi ko ma-verify ano yung gamot na tinitake para mag-compare notes kayo. Ito ba yung tinitake mo? So ang sagot niya na sa akin is, babasahin ko na lang. Sabi niya, take it day by day. You can't rush it. Understand that your experience will not be the same. My medication didn't affect what I have. May mga matalinghaga siyang sagot, pero sabi niya, walk with it. Allow yourself to be used to what the medication does. So, like you said, mas shadows na lang. I guess masanay ka doon. But do not focus on it. Focus on yourself. But be in the present. Don't burden yourself with the past. Yes, the past has brought you to where you are now, but you can only take the next right step. How I manage my mental health and these powers, abilities I have may or may not work for you. So, I think ulit-ulit yan sinasabi sa podcast. Walang one solution fits all for people. Pero it's still good to know and still good to hear from different perspectives, di ba? Anyway, balik ako. But here's what I did do. I focused on myself and the process of getting better. Accepting the pain, the burden, the weight, and then walking with it. But analyzing it in a way that I can find a better way to manage it without making myself a victim. To become a victim, you will only see the worst things around you, in you, and expect it from others. You affect the things around you, therefore you have to understand that as much as it is about you getting better, you have to understand you have a community around you. they can help you. But you also need to be able to not burden them and give them the same help they give you in return. The short of it will be like carrying the heaviest backpack up a steep hill. The weight of it making you want to stop, but take the next right step up that hill and take another, no matter how slow it may be. You'll get to the top eventually. Okay, may last pa siya. It's never meant to be easy. You are meant to work hard on it. That's the reality of things. You'll fall and taste the dust on the ground, but get up, dust yourself off, continue walking. But know you are not owed anything. Just take the next right step. So, yun ang sabi niya. Pero for me, naalala ko rin lang yung, this is me, nakikialam sa sinabi mo. Sinabi mo kasi, you're having a difficult time managing your mental health while trying to develop your abilities. So for me, focus, kagaya nung sabi ni JP, focus mo muna sa sarili mo. Yung abilities mamaya na yan. Isipin mo na lang yung mga ways to protect yourself. Kasi yun nga, you are, sabi mo nga, may gulo pa doon sa bahay. And you have these internal issues, di ba? So, focus ka muna sa sayo. Huwag mo muna isipin yung, parang ito yung sinasabi sa mga, di ko alam kung, nasa Discord ka ba? Meron kasi mga nasabi doon na before ka mag-delve into your practice, your spiritual journey, work on yourself first. Parang ganon. Kasi, I think si Miss Star nagsabi nito, if you are weak in mind, spirit, and body, pag nag-try ka mag-aral sa ganitong bagay, meaning sa spiritual, kasi meaning you have to encounter entities, you have to encounter other things that might be in the spiritual realm, pwede ka ma-break kung hindi ka malakas sa spirit, mind, body. So, yun yung sinasabi nila eh. So, parang baka yun. Again, sorry Janelle, nakikialam ako, pero before you try to develop your skills or develop your sensitivities, work on yourself first. Parang ganon. Pero for me, I think you should know the basics in terms of protecting yourself spiritually. Matanong ko lang, ano ba yung belief system mo?
I was born and raised Catholic, and until now, medyo I still follow Catholic tradition. But I consider myself more of a spiritual person right now. So I don't really, hindi ako super strict on Catholic tradition and stuff. Just more of, marami din sa nadidiscuss in your podcast. I believe in a lot of it. So I guess spiritual. Yes. Sorry.
Ayun, yun naman yung sinabi ko lang yung shinare niya, tapos nakisingit lang ako sa shinare ni JP. I'm not sure if I can send you the recording kung gusto mong balikan yung nasabi. Hindi, I can email it to you kung ano yung nasabi niya. Para kung gusto mong intindihin further. Kasi baka yung delivery ko hindi siya nakatulong.
Yeah, I think I'd like to get back to what Sir JP said. And medyo nag-resonate niya sa akin yung sinabi niyo po about more of yung point niyo po of focusing on myself. Kasi as a depressed person, parang ang hirap po sa akin maghanap ng purpose ko and to find a reason to stay here for the long term. And parang recently, I guess I've been latching on to developing my abilities as that purpose to stay here. Well, meanwhile, ang dapat talagang ginagawa ko is to work on my mental health and the rest will follow. So thank you, Sir JP.
Sabihin ko sa kanya yun. So ngayon, knowing what you know and what you've been experiencing, are you doing things to address yung mga pero kasi yung mga nakikita mo hindi naman nanggugulo no? Parang nandiyan lang sila. Na-observe mo lang, ganun, di ba?
Yeah, they're just there. Yeah.
So wala naman technically parang nag-stress sa'yo. Yeah, go ahead.
Hindi naman nagsistress out sa akin, but nakikita ko po yung effect niya sa ibang tao, or I see the potential of it becoming harmful or violent, lalo na po in my grandma's house. Kasi there was a time din na yung tita ko naman po na nagkaroon siya ng scratches sa likod niya. Nang hindi niya ako sinasaktan kung ano man po nandun, but other people nasasaktan niya na. Even caregiver ng lola ko, there was a time sumakit yung tiyan niya just because she passed by doon sa living room and she tried to get supplies doon sa living room. Biglang sumakit yung tiyan niya when pumasok siya sa kwarto ng lola ko ulit. Ganun. So, and then there was even a time na nangyari to when in 2020 when at the height of COVID, tas namatay yung tito ko. And nanggaling po kami sa wake. So, ang nangyari nun, when I got home and mag-isa ako dun sa kitchen, just arranging my things and doing what I need to do before I sleep, nakita po ako ng white na entity dun sa kitchen na naglalakad. And then later on, when I was preparing to sleep na, I was in the dining room, bigla po ako nakaamoy ng sobrang baho. As in, it smelled like sobrang disgusting pero parang feces ng aso at pusa na pinagsama, pinaghalo. Ganun. May mga pusa kasi sa bahay. So when I looked at their litter boxes, wala naman pong laman. And wala naman pong tao sa CR or anything na logical na pagmumulan ng smell na yun. And it just happened in one spot. So, and in past episodes, I learned na if you smell something like that, yung ganong smell na parang sulfur or feces, yun ay demon. So, I guess, baka meron din doon in my grandma's house and medyo natatakot po ako.
Ako wag ka mag-jump doon. Kasi parang minsan, again, sa ibang episodes ko, sa iba nakausap ko, sana walang, sana walang, lumilingon-lingon lang ako dito. Sana walang kapre dito na magalit sa akin. Pero, it's been said, ayan, sinabi ko, it's been said. It's been said na minsan, pag mayroong kapre, minsan yun yung, again, kung baka pakinggan mo yung mga kwento ni Sam, na sabi na may foul smell, minsan it is elemental. Not necessarily kagad magja-jump ka to a D. Kasi yun nga, ikaw, baka meron ka ring intuition na feeling mong ganun. Possible, hindi ko masasabi. Kasi you would know better sa ano. Pero if you're just basing it on smell, sometimes it is just an elemental passing by or is in the area. Kasi ako, yun nga, I've experienced that so many times. And alam ko may nag-guest na nagsabi nito. Buti wala kang kinoment kasi may guest na nagsabi nito. Pag meron kang naamoy, huwag ka lang mag-comment. Sabi niya, huwag ka na lang mag-comment kasi ma-offend daw yung iba. Pero yun, I mean, it's your experience. Feel free to tell it. Pero yun nga, try mo rin huwag mag-jump. Kasi technically, tinatakot mo sarili mo. Diba?
Yeah. At the time naman po, parang I didn't really feel like something was malevolent around. More, just a smell that existed. So baka hindi nga siya anything na malevolent. Just maybe an elemental was just by.
Na-offend yun, sinabi mo kagano'n na di siya eh. Dumaan lang naman siya.
And at that time naman po kasi wala pa po kaming natatayong or napaplant na fruit-bearing tree.
Okay. Oo.
Baka they were really just passing by.
Baka naman.
Pero yung the thing na yung nag-scratch siya tita ko
Yes.
and bakit dun sa caregiver ng lola ko, I'm not sure where that came from.
Have you heard yung Light Sears na episode?
Yes, I have.
Sasabihin rin naman nila kung hindi nang gugulo fully, meaning hindi nag-escalate yung kagaya sa tita mo, syempre may harm na nangyari doon, pero kung hindi siya nag-escalate, parang one-off siya, meron na sila ipoprovide na okay, this is what you can do. Hindi sila pupunta to mediate. Parang that's the way I understand it, ha. So kung hindi siya super harmful, meaning meron lang sila sasabihin na pwedeng yung gawin to protect your space, I think. So I'm not sure if that is something you want to to try?
Maybe I'll try to contact them. Although, kasi may aunt kasi, she's very spiritual din, na she's really into crystals. So, marami din siyang ginagamit na black tourmaline around. She has a lot of black tourmaline in the house.
Okay.
So, the fact that there's a black tourmaline, but it's still happening, ayun.
Oo.
I'm,
Oo.
pero
Hindi kaya.
when yeah. And I've talked, nakausap ko rin po a couple of times in the store. She recommends nga po talaga na to have the house cleansed by an
Naisip ko nga.
exorcist. And pero kung hindi daw kaya, she can do it then as well if hindi kaganaya ng exorcist priest.
Kasi, yun nga parang kailangan rin magbago ng energy ng house eh. Parang, yes, you clean it, you shoo away yung energies na nagugulo, di ba? Pero if you retain, this is just me, if you retain what is happening inside, di ba? It will persist. It will happen again. That is my theory. Just a theory. Pero ayun.
I think that's true naman po. Lalo na now na the last thing that I saw there was a very tall, dark entity in the living room. The same place I saw yung old lady in a rocking chair. And right now, well, it's okay to share it naman na may mga legal battles na nangyayari about the house itself and the land there. So, I guess. And then, hindi rin okay yung pinag-aawayan po siya eh. So,
I can imagine.
a lot of fighting is happening in the house. So, I guess, na-attract dun yung entities. Dun sa not very good energy or vibration in the house. Yeah.
Ikaw personally, how do you, nakwento mo na naman experiences mo. How are you dealing with it? Yung seeing these things. Kasi, like you said nga, there are other listeners who might be in the same boat as you na ganyan, they have mental wellness issues and they are also experiencing seeing things. How do you personally how do you deal with it?
Yeah, kasi po me, when I see something, I've learned na they just really exist, and the best thing that I can do at that time is just really respect their space. So, wala po akong ginagawa masyado and I just really mostly focus on myself and the stress that I'm experiencing in my life. Ganun. Although in the past, sobrang nasa-stress po ako sa kanila kasi nung college, when I was being stressed out by academics, tas at the same time nakikita ko po sila, parang I let that affect me. At the time, parang lagi ako nasa-stress kapag, ito na naman, nakikita ko na naman, kailangan ko mag-aral, ganyan. Sabay ng maayos and nade-distract ako ng nakikita ko. But when I learned na mas importante yung respect talaga of space, my space and their space, dun ako mas nakapag-focus sa sarili ko. And yeah. And right now, since sinabi ko I want to develop my abilities, then parang part of me acknowledges naman na if I'm not well mentally, I wouldn't be able to develop my abilities, or I wouldn't be able to help people if I want to. So, yeah, recently pumunta po ako sa inner child healing workshop ni Miss Chi. That's one of the things that I did to help myself.
Kamusta naman?
It was, sabi po, galing po siya sa Paranormal podcast. So,
Kasi puro nicknames ang sinasabi nila eh. So hindi ko alam kung sino baka doon nagre-real name na sila.
So nandun ako, and si Miss Chiki, and in person, hindi, nag-visit pala po siya dito. And hindi
pala.
siya support. So ayun, it was in person. Nagpakita ng video si Miss Chiki about the inner child, how to recognize if you have the inner child, ganyan. And then the highlight was she made us parang do a visualization of us to help us meet our inner child. Pero okay lang if in the process, hindi mo ma-meet yung inner child mo. At least daw it's a start of meeting your inner child and continuing on that journey of getting in touch with them and healing kung ano man yung kailangan mo i-heal or to connect with them. Parang may portion din that we did artwork. Kung ano man yung gustong artwork na gawin ng inner child mo, or is there an artwork that you want to do with your inner child, which I did. Ay, yan, gumawa kami ng artwork just to channel our creativity and our inner children.
Stuff you would have done when you were younger. Parang ganun yata yung ano yun.
Yeah. Yung mga hindi namin nagawa, I guess, when we were younger because, and lalo na our elder children that, and we couldn't do these things. Yeah.
Pero yun, meron ka bang gustong parang advice to others na who might be going through the same thing as you are?
I think don't be afraid to ask for help. Yeah. Kasi for a very long time, that's not what I did. Kaya I was stressed out in college kasi I was just trying to deal with things on my own without asking for help. Ayun. Lalo na if you feel like na meron kang problem with your mental health, or even if it's not even, kahit na hindi lang mental health problem, even if you have a problem in your life na you feel like you can't solve on your own, or even if it's just maliit na problem, it's okay to ask for help, no matter how big or small that problem is. And you don't need, and matagal ko bago kasi na learn to, pero you don't have to be severely mentally ill or severely in trouble just to get the help that you need. So it's always okay to go to a therapist, or kung kahit na I understand if you don't have like maybe the money or the resources to go to a therapist, but even just go to, kung meron opportunity to go to a therapist that offers free therapy and any resources in your area, then please go, kasi therapy almost always helps in a way, no matter what your situation is right now. Ayun.
I think meron mga free, and I share it sa Discord. So, for those of you listening, tignan nyo yung show notes. I'll be putting in contact details ng mga parang therapy na either low cost or free. Kasi meron talaga. May pinaprovide, kalimutan ko yung name ngayon, pero meron na mga na-share sa akin yung mga ibang past guests. Kasi may option naman. Yun lang nga, tama ka na minsan ang hirap i-accept na may something, di ba? And nahihiya silang admit yun sa sarili nila sometimes, di ba? Na there's something missing, or there's something about me that I need help with, di ba? And sometimes that first step is very difficult. Especially if ma-pride kang tao. Di ba? Hindi mo magawang humingi ng tulong. Thank you for that. Magandang ano yun. Ma-push sila. Nasabi ko na rin naman, I think, sa'yo to sa email na one of my goals, hindi ko pa magagawa talaga, is to talk to therapists or psychiatrists who believe in the spiritual world and try to get their take on it. Nga, na knowing what we know about mental wellness, knowing what we know about the spiritual world, is there something we can do to manage it, di ba? Especially if you have mental health problems or issues, di ba? Pero thank you for reaching out, of course. Thank you for sharing your story, and hopefully it also connects with people who needed to hear what you had to say about asking for help.
Thank you po, Sir Nick, for this opportunity.
Thank you rin. Thank you.
Although I guess meron siguro ako i-add.
Ay, sige, go.
Kasi I mentioned that I have OCD, no? And
Yes.
and recently it's been happening again. Pero before, nung mas intense pa siya before, I don't know kung if nagko-connect din beyond schizophrenia, kung sa mental health and yung paranormal, yung pati yung OCD. Kasi when I experience OCD, it's intrusive thoughts. And it's thoughts na I really don't want to be there, but they intrude in my mind. So isa sa mga meron akong OCD before was religious OCD. Parang in religious OCD kasi, ang na-experience ko dun ay parang palaging may gustong, I was always afraid na baka may mag-attack sa akin na demon or something or any negative or malevolent entity. Yun yung intrusive thought ko palagi. So, for a time din natakot din po ako if like, meron nga ba? Baka meron naka-attach sa akin and I don't know and I just can't see. So, I think it might be good then to read about OCD and mayroong baka may connection din siya with the paranormal and what other people.
Pero paano intrusive thoughts? The reason I ask is kasi the other day I was talking to someone na meron siyang naririnig na voices na kinakausap siya. Pero feeling niya, unang diagnosis niya, ako lang yan, these are just my thoughts. Pero minsan merong certain ugali daw na parang hindi niya ma-discount na ibang anyway, sa iba may parang ganun.
In OCD, no, I don't experience like voices. I don't hear voices. Mostly it's thoughts talaga. Na parang nag-feed siya sa utak ko. And ayaw na ayaw ko siyang maisip, pero naiisip ko siya. And wala siyang prompt, walang anything. Parang bigla na lang siyang papasok. And kaya siya tinawag na intrusive thought. Paminsan, so, like for example, before then, when nung malala pa OCD ko, may experience ako na nagising ako one morning and sobrang tahimik ng bahay. So ang tahimik ng bahay, ang logical doon iisipin ko is kasi namalengke parents ko and they're out of the house. That's why tahimik yung lugar. Pero in OCD, ang naging thought ko is that maybe namatay yung parents ko. So, kaya tahimik kasi patay na sila and they're just dead in their beds. So, paulit-ulit yung thought sa akin na patay na parents mo, patay na parents mo. Ganun. So, that's what an intrusive thought is. You can't control it. It just inputs in your mind without you controlling it. Yun po yung OCD.
Weird question. And I will not judge you kung meron man ganito. Do you get that intrusive thoughts na to harm someone? Kunyari may nakasalubong ka, tapos biglang saksakin mo na. So, sapakin mo na. May ganun ka rin ba?
Yes, it happens. Lalo na, kunyari, nagkakat ako ng vegetables and then I have a knife in my hand. May intrusive thought ako na, you know what, I could really just use this knife and I can. Paminsan din, meron akong biglang thought na, I have this phone in my hand, pwede kong batuhin na ibang tao with it. Mga ganun. So it is an obsessive thought or an intrusive thought. Yeah.
And out of the blue yun? Meaning, hindi mo siya iniisip beforehand?
No. Wala siyang prompt. Just random.
Makakasagot niyan yung mga psych na ano natin. Pero hopefully, may input, insight sila doon. Pero I think I've encountered something like that before. Not sa paranormal stuff, more sa psych stuff siya. Na may explanation sila for that. Pero ako, hindi ko alam kung ano yun. Hopefully, pag nakuha ko, i-share. I mean, baka na-research mo na rin yun, Janelle. So baka nga, let's see kung may parang connect. So, weird question ulit. Kung may nakikita ka ba, minsan may nakaka-communicate ka with them?
No, I can't communicate.
Wala. Okay.
Baka, nag-akashic reading pala ako with Miss May. Baka you might be interested in hearing that.
Sige. Ano yung gusto mo lang share? Kasi baka very personal yung iba.
So, kasi po, one of my questions in the akashic reading was, I've been struggling with mental health since I was young. And why would that be? Kasi iniisip ko baka meron akong karmic debt na binabayaran. Why not this? Pero yun pala, sabi ni Miss May na I'm a very old soul. Sobrang na daw po yung soul ko. As in, she didn't elaborate on how old it is, pero very. And then, ang naging lifetime ko kasi before was Um, I've always reincarnated in interdimensional Earth. Mas Earth yung Earth, pero maraming dimensions ako napuntahan in Earth. Yun yung parang soul origin ko. And then, kaya ako maraming na-experience na iba-ibang thoughts na nagja-jump ako from one thought to another. And that's why I'm very depressed kasi kalat-kalat daw yung soul fragments ko in different dimensions. And wala siyang core na walang nag-hold everything together. And kaya ako naka-experience ng depression kasi kalat-kalat ako in a sense, interdimensionally. Para kung ano daw, everything, everywhere, all at once.
Okay.
So, ayun. Well, I'm not sure how to take that in pa and to make sense of it. Pero, ayun, nakala ko talaga I have a karmic debt. But it turns out maybe not.
I think, hindi ko alam if tama ang term, pero may tinatawag silang, na-mention to sa ibang episode, yung parang yung basics na sinasabi nila. Grounding, centering, shielding. So, from what I understand sa centering, it is parang, yun nga, you are centering yourself. You are collecting yourself. Parang kung masyadong ligaw yung thoughts mo, ligaw yung actions mo, ligaw yung spirit mo, parang binabalik mo lang to core. Parang ganun nga. So, meron bang parang, ano yung parang advice ni Miss May as to how you could retrieve your fragments, kumbaga?
She said that the only way that I will be able to find that is through love. A journey of love. And hindi siya necessarily romantic.
Yes, oo.
Journey ng heart ko. The more I experience love with other people,
Yes, oo.
the more that I can find my center or where I can find my core and to bring my love together. Yun po yung sinabi niya.
Challenging pala, no? Challenging siya. Pero I mean, it is possible, di ba? Nasa ano lang naman yan. Nasa goal setting lang.
Oh.
Find love. Not necessarily romantic. Pero yun nga, I can see,
Yeah.
I can see nga na, oo nga. Kasi pag nandoon yung parang core mo, ang dali na parang ihigop eh. Visualize ko lang siya. So, hindi ko na tatanungin, kamusta ka sa journey na yun? Baka masyadong personal, pero good luck. Kaya mo yan.
Medyo nag-resonate din siya sa isang tanong ko pa kay Miss May because I asked her, if I'm so old, if sobrang tanda na ng soul ko, why do I keep choosing to reincarnate?
Okay.
And yun nga, ang sabi niya is because kasi no matter how much I try to incarnate, parang meron pa rin akong namimiss na isang piece. And baka yun nga yung one piece na hindi ko mahanap, it's myself. Wow, profound pala.
Oo. Ano yan? Naalala ko yung kanta. I've been to paradise, but I've never been to me. Naalala ko lang na parang hinahanap mo yung sarili mo. Oo nga, napaka-profound naman nun. So, pagkatapos ko marinig yung mga kwento ng mga tao ko, parang okay, anything is possible. Anything is really possible. Sa ganyan bagay na hinahanap mo pala yun. Hanapin mo na kasi.
Connected with what Sir JP said kanina, yung to focus on myself. So yun talaga yung solution.
Oo nga, no? O yan, dalawa na nagsabi
Okay.
Sumunod ka na. Joke lang.
Opo.
Oo. Joke mo naman. Nasa sa'yo naman yan. Pero yun nga, tama ka. Kung ano yung nagre-resonate sa'yo, pwede mo sundin. Pero yun. Thank you, Janelle. I-update kita kung meron pang ibang masabi sa akin yung ibang people regarding your questions kasi may questions ka nga. And hopefully, we get an update soon or next year or something. Parang kung yung soul searching mo, kung saan napunta.
Opo. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you rin,
Thank you po.
Thank you again, Janelle, for sharing your experiences. I honestly think there should be a deeper discussion about the connection between depression and people with their sensitivities open. I'm not the person to hold this dialogue, pero I put the burden on listeners who might be more suited to discuss the topic. Parang 75% na mga nakakausap ko na may sensitivity, merong previous or ongoing bout with depression or other mental health issues. I do not doubt their mental acuity. I have seen and experienced some of their sensitivities in action. They are able to function with their day-to-day lives. So I cannot say mentally incapacitated sila, or let's say sabihin ng iba may severe mental issue sila. I would not say that. So there, I'm personally open to kind of like organizing a dialogue between psychologists, psychiatrists who are open to the topic and talking about it. And hopefully, we can make this happen. So if you have ideas on how we can make this happen, if you have contacts who are open to it and they're willing to talk about it, let's go. In case this is the first episode of the podcast you are listening to, welcome to the Paranormal Podcast. The podcast is a collection of first-hand experience stories with the paranormal. If you enjoyed these type of stories, you might want to subscribe to the podcast. You can find the podcast on Spotify, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter X, Apple Podcast, and Nick Nook. New episodes every Tuesday, 7 p.m. on Spotify, and Thursdays, 1:37 p.m. on YouTube. If you have a Japanese soldier sighting or office horror stories that you'd like to share, you can just email me at paranormalsph@gmail.com. Shout out and thank you pala sa ating mysterious donor sa pag-sponsor niya sa ilang listeners sa Inner Child Healing ni Miss Chiki. Maraming salamat ulit sa ating mystery sponsor. Thank you very much. Medyo busy tayo sa mga bagay-bagay sa life, kaya sasagot lang ako sa isang comment. Isang comment lang. Galing ito sa episode 27, Haunted House QC. Sabi ni Yvonne, I think it would help if you post a map of the Philippines on a wall near you because Samar is not southern Philippines. It's smack dab in the middle. It's literally in the northern part of Visayas. It's not hard to Google. Ayun, may na-trigger yata tayong Samar yan. Pasensya na po. Aminin ko naman na medyo mahina ako sa geography. Baka absent ako nung nag-lesson sa Visayas region. So moving forward, siguraduhin kong tumingin sa Google Maps pag meron akong nire-reference na lugar. Pero point out ko lang, hindi siya smack dab in the middle. Kasi even if Visayas ay nasa Central Philippines, yes, ang Samar ay nasa Eastern Visayas. So kung titignan nyo nga sa map, medyo nasa eastern side siya. Hindi siya smack dab in the middle. Pero ayun, I'll do better next time, mga kabayan. Ibiblame ko yan sa aking pagiging Manileño. Before we end the episode, I'd like to give a shout out, of course, to our Paranormal Patreons and coffee supporters. Nasaan man kayo sa ating archipelago. Maraming salamat, Christine, Mark, Hotaru, Aryan, Fallen, Leia, Laura, JRS, Emrys, K, Kent, Biker Mama, J3, Justine, Janelle, Jevelyn, and Leslie. Thank you to our Patreon and coffee supporters. Naalala ko lang ngayon kasi usapang Samar nga. Yung isang co-host natin is taga doon naman talaga. So, hindi ko alam kung nakikinig ka pa, Jay. Pasensya na, Jay. Nasabi kong southern part lang. So, apparently, ayun nga. Eastern Visayas. Going back to Patreon, there are certain perks to being a Patreon supporter. You can look into the different tiers to find out more. So, the link for Patreon and coffee are in the show notes. You can also support the podcast in many other ways. Pwede ka rin mag-recommend ng podcast sa Facebook. Salamat. Ito, madami-dami ito. Salamat kanila Ruby, Harold, Boycolot, Glenn, Evo, Charles, Carlo, Frena, Grace, Nanthiel, Den, Hannah, Joyce, Leslie, Jobert, and Chad sa pag-mention nyo sa podcast sa isang post ng ABS sa Facebook nila. So anyway, nakita ko lang yun. So salamat ulit sa mentions and thank you for the support. The Paranormal Podcast is engineered and produced by F90 Productions. If you have the time, please rate or review the podcast on your preferred podcast platform. Pati nga si Hatman nag-comment to. Sabi niya, ayun. Thank you again, everybody. Thank you to all the people who share their stories, of course. To all you listeners and sharers of the podcast, of course. And thank you to the Divine Source for creating this tiring, amusing, and blessed reality. Please stay safe. Isang mabilis na observation lang, LL Peeps. Nakikinig kasi ako ng metaphysical podcast no isang araw. Maraming salamat sa nag-refer nito sa Discord galing yun eh. Pero thank you sa nag-refer nito. Pasensya na, nakalimutan ko kung sino. Pero anyway, ang interesting sa podcast na yun, yung parang co-host nila sa podcast, nagre-remote view siya professionally dati. So marami siyang insight with regards to remote viewing na experiences niya. So may isang kwento sila dun sa episode na ang title, sorry, di ko alam number, pero ang title is Hardest Things to Remote View, Changing the Future and Karmic Ties. Hanapin nyo na lang, yun yung title. So meron silang kinuwento dun na merong ni-remote view silang entity from the 1940s or 1950s. So nasa present time sila, ni-remote view nila, totoo ba tong entity na to? Parang ganun. Check nila kung totoo ba yung urban legend or whatever. Anyway, totoo. Nakita nila. Pero nung nakita nila yung entity through remote view, nakita rin sila ng entity at nakipag-communicate sa kanila. So, ulitin ko I think nasa year 2022 sila, nag-remote view sila ng entity ng 1940s to see kung totoo nga. So, totoo nga, nakita nila. Pero, nakipag-usap sa kanila kasi nakita sila ng entity nung nagre-remote view sila. Parang nainis pa nga yata ang entity na ba, bakit na kayo silip na silip? Parang ganon. So, again, very, very interesting. So, dito pumapasok talaga na yun na-mention sa earlier episodes that time is a construct for this 3D reality, I guess. In other higher dimensions, sabi nga, everything happens all at the same time. Past, present, future. For me, isang perfect example nito is yung isang story na isang character sa Haunting of Bly Manor sa Netflix. Yung kwento ng black na girl. Pag napanood nyo na, magigets nyo yung meaning ko. Ayoko lang i-spoil. So, pasensya na. Panoorin nyo na lang. Haunting of Bly Manor. Basta yung kwento ng black na babae. Pag nakita mo yung experience ng girl na yon, I guess parang ganun. Hindi nakapako ang consciousness natin sa isang moment in time. Parang kanta yun So pag may nag-remote view rin ba ng past event, technically nakaka-time travel sila. Ba? Oo nga, no? Pero anyway, naalala ko yung nangyari kay Nicholas sa episode with Liz. Nung ni-remote view niya yung dating haunted house nila Liz, nakita niya yung mga multo na nagbumulto dun sa bahay. Past yung nakikita niya sa pagkaintindi ko. Anyway, ito, pakinggan niyo yung excerpt nung portion na yun.
Parang may one time, umuwi kami from EK, yung yaya, umakyat siya ng stairs, bit yung brother ko kasi tulog na. May babae naghihintay na nakaupo sa stairs, mga ganon.
Wait, oh my God.
Basta sobrang wild nung house na yun.
I wanted to say, I saw a lady sitting on the stairs. And then you said it. I said, oh no. Okay, wait. I'm seeing gate that's kind of old, metal gate. I'm seeing I don't know if it's a driveway. I'm seeing there's concrete steps going to the house.
Yes.
And then, wait, parang on the side, there's like a little garden and there's the big tree.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
There, okay. I saw a lady sitting on the steps. And I saw some people looking out the window.
Yes.
It's really old, huh? I mean, it's like
Yes.
older architecture. Parang
Super old. Like,
40s, 50s, or something like that. God, I could see her. She's an old woman, medyo grayish hair, naka-pulled back bun, medyo old pa yung suot niya. Medyo she's a little hunched. She's Lola-ish, the one that's ano. Then the one on the stairs, she's medyo dalaga pa, old yung standing, yung hair, I don't know, 40s, 50s yan. She's like sitting, waiting for somebody.
yeah.
And then I see someone eating guava in the garden, leaning by a tree.
Kasi yung
It's a
room
girl
ko,
also.
yung room ko, may guava tree sa window. Pag, syempre,
Guava tree.
teenage years, diba? Teenage years. So, alam mo yung pag nagtatago ka mag-yossi, ganyan. May na-open yung window ko. So, pumupunta ako dun sa room.
Oh my gosh, the house is teeming with
Sobra. Tapos parang every time, nung time na yun, parang medyo normal na siya sa akin kasi everyday nangyayari. So, like,
Ayun.
I talk to
Kaya, I guess, minsan, napapaisip ako, pag nag-pass away ba tayo, at spirit na lang tayo, kaya natin mag-time hop. Makikita ba natin yung mga, I guess, ako yun, gagawin ko, titingin ako sa different moments in history, kung yun ba talaga nangyari. Yung mga ancient war, yung mga dinosaurs, yung mga Anunnaki. Okay, yun na muna. Mahaba na naman to.